Hello friends, we are here with another book club spoiler reading vlog. This is my book club's December pick. I don't know when this is going up, but it is The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan, and I am very excited to read one of her books. I've heard they're very cozy books about books set in, I think, Ireland, and I'm very excited. This is going to be spoiler filled, so if you don't want to hear anything, then read the book first and then come back. But the link to my book club will be linked down below. I'm excited to get started. I think I'm actually going to start it tomorrow, but I'll look cute today, so I decided to film this part today. But what is this about? An enchanted novel about books, family, and Christmas. Laid off from her department store job, Carmen has perilously little cash and few options. The prospects of spending Christmas with her perfect sister Sophia in Sophia's perfect house with her perfect children and her perfect orderly yuppie life does not appeal. Frankly, Sophia doesn't exactly want her prickly sister there either, but she has yet another baby on the way, a mother who is desperate to see her daughters get along, and a client who needs help revitalizing his shabby old bookshop. So Carmen moves in and takes the job. Thrown rather suddenly into the interior working of Mr. Macready's ancient bookshop on the picturesque streets of historic Edinburgh, Carmen is intrigued despite herself. The store is dusty, disorganized, and undeniably charming. Can she breathe some new life into it in time for Christmas shopping? What will happen when a famous, charismatic author takes a sudden interest in the bookshop and in Carmen? And will the Christmas spirit be enough to help heal Carmen's fractured family? This sounds so good. I don't think I actually ever read the synopsis. I am so freaking excited to read this. Okay guys, we are starting this bad boy right now. It is, I think, pretty early still. It's only 7 o'clock. And this book is, where's the end of that? This is the end of the book, The Christmas Bookshop. After including the epilogue, this is only 305 pages. This is a very short book. I keep saying, oh, I'm gonna one-shot the book. I'm gonna finish it in one night. 7 to 8. I have 5 hours till midnight. I could easily read this in 5 hours. However, because it is book club, and we do have our book club in Fable, I will be going in, and I like to, because it is my book club, I like to be more active, as active as possible, and I like to post in pretty much every chapter, even though the only person who has read it so far only posted in a handful of chapters. But I just like to have something in most, if not all, chapters, so that anybody else can feel, you know, like there's somebody to chat to. This has 37 chapters and an epilogue, and it's like a 30-page book, so the chapters should be less than 10 pages each. And I am excited to get going with this. Miss Jenny here has a lot of books. Like, her backlist is pretty huge. There's all of these just in this book, and I don't know if this is all of them. I don't know. Let's see if I can Google. Let's ask Siri. How many books has Jenny Colgan written? 33 books. So if this is good, I think I only own one other book by her. I own 2 other books by her. So if this is good, I have 30 more books I could buy, which would be amazing. So let's get into it, and I'll probably read a couple of chapters before I update you. The other 2 books that I have read with you guys for like a video like this is, we did the last one at the wedding, which these are all prior videos. You can check them out in the playlist. And what was last month? Oh, The Lost Story, which nobody else read besides me. Kind of sad about it, because we did do a poll, and you know, that's the one that won, but apparently nobody wanted to read it. I don't get it. Maybe life just happened. That's what I'm gonna go with. But I'll hold this here because I don't feel like fixing the camera to put you in a better angle, and this will fill this empty space. We're gonna get going on this. Hopefully gonna read a bunch. I'm gonna try to get like 50 pages in before I update you. Oh, but 50 pages is about 9 chapters. But what I was trying to get at, this seems like a very emotional book, which emotional books I tend to read very fast because I get very invested. But this is like a literary fiction, contemporary fiction book. So unlike a thriller or a fantasy, I'm not gonna be like having my brain blown every second. So let's get into it, baby. Okay guys, I have read the first 6 chapters and so far it's just really making me want to go to Scotland. They're talking about this shop being on Victoria Street, so naturally I looked up what it looks like. There we go. And I want to be there. But so far, our main character, Carmen, she loses her job working at like some sort of shop where people get like fabric and wedding gowns, and the shop's basically going under. So she gets fired and she goes and lives with her mom and dad for a while, and things are just kind of not going well. She's down on her luck. And her sister is like this big high power lawyer. She's very successful and rich and has 3 kids, another one on the way, a husband who's like an international lawyer, and she's a nanny, and her life is just picture perfect. And her and Carmen have, her sister's name is Carmen, and then the sister is Sophia. So they've never really gotten along too well, and the mom contacts Sophia and is like, listen, can you help find Carmen a job? Like, she's having a really hard time. She's very like depressed. We need to get her something. So Carmen, one of her clients, owns a bookshop that's also in bad shape and needs to be fixed up and get some business and start making money by Christmas. So she gets Carmen a job there, and Carmen's coming to stay with her, and Carmen gets there and she's got 3 kids, Pippa, Phoebe, and Jack, and her kids are brats. I do not like these kids. I'm always kind of 50-50 about kids in books, but her kids are rude. All Phoebe has talked about is how Carmen didn't come to her communion, I don't know, some church type thing, and that her other aunt got her this present and that present, and what is she gonna get her? She does not like K-pop, don't care anything K-pop. And then the other one's like, oh, you're here, what'd you bring us? And then there is the nanny named Skylar, and she's very like hippy dippy namaste, is like everything, she just keeps saying namaste. And so Skylar and Carmen are both like living in, like, Skylar is a, how do you say it? Au pair, I think that's how you say it. And she like lives at the house, and there's almost like an old-fashioned servants' quarters. And so she has a room in that area, and so does Carmen, and they're living there. And Sophia also wants Carmen to help with the kids some nights a week, but we'll see how it goes. But so far, it's just making me want to visit this place. Okay, guys, I've read 37% today. This is day 2 of me reading this. I wanted to get further, but it was a really long work day. I worked like 12 hours, and I can't focus. My eyes are heavy. I had nightmares last night. Anywho, so where we're at in the book right now is I do not like Carmen's sister at all. Sophia is a bitch. But Carmen is kind of enjoying working at the shop, and she's getting it all decked out for Christmas, and they're going to make the whole shop just like Christmas themed, that it just sells Christmas books. And so they went up into the attic and they found like an old like cute train that's giving Polar Express, and she's ordering a bunch of Polar Express books. She did a story time for the kids, only she read like a sad story, and so it went kind of bad. But so far now, they basically, some like celebrity author dude was coming into town named Blair, and they had like heard word of like this shop being super Christmassy, and so they wanted to use it as the backdrop for whatever they were filming. And so she was like, yeah, but he's gonna have to do a signing here if that's the case. So she weaseled him into doing like a 45-minute signing, and now he is taking her out to lunch, and I want them to fall in love. Carmen deserves love because her sister is a bitch. And that's pretty much everything that's happened since we last checked in. I still have like 3.5 hours left in the book, but I've just been so busy that I've not had like a ton of time to read, but I'm very much so enjoying it. Okay guys, we are about to get right back into the Christmas bookshop. I'm on chapter 17, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, 15. About 37% in. I only read like 10% of my book yesterday. Here we are, chapter 17. Page 113, so about like this far into it. I want to get to like 80% in this, so I'm not going to read much tomorrow because I'm working, and then I have my friend's daughter's birthday party and game night, and so tomorrow won't be very good reading day. I'm just like really bummed out because I've only read 3 books, or technically 4, because I did read a novella that I don't have physically, but I want to make some progress on this. We have 3 hours and 20 minutes left in the book. I'm hoping to get to like 80% today. I only have like, there's a note in the Fable app for the book club for chapter 17, and then there's nothing until the epilogue. So hopefully I don't have anything to read, and maybe I might like let up on posting in Fable so that I can read faster, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna also do my lazy girl setup. I have not been doing it for, let me set you guys down over here. I have not been doing the setup the last couple of times that I read, but I do think that I read faster when I have her going. And I have like my clicker and shit, and I can get real cozy. So we will do this. If I remember to link my stand and my clicker, I will. Or if me husbando lets me know. Oh, I'm trying to not have to get up. I do not have pants on. I didn't want to show y'all my booty. Okay. Page clicker. Attach her here. Mine works just fine. The only thing about mine is, well, first, it's like this little ring one, and I did break part of the plastic off because I was playing with it too much, but that's like on me. And the only thing is it doesn't, you can't go backwards, but that's like fine. Otherwise, I have no issues with it, and we're gonna get to reading. Okay guys, I love this passage. So Blair is having lunch with Carmen, or Carmen is having lunch with Blair, and there's this passage that says, everyone is just faking it. Do you think I'm a fraud? And Carmen said, I think everyone's a fraud. She said, Blair blinked. What do you mean? Everyone's just faking it. Look at the Prime Minister, faking it. Look at the people who are in charge of things, faking it, faking it, faking it. Of course you're faking it. I'm faking it. I don't know how to run a bookshop. Not the faintest clue. Mr. McCready doesn't either. Faking it is just another word for being a grown-up. Literally. Literally. I always feel like I'm just pretending. Every time. This motherfucker proposed that, like, for him to go back, her to go back up to his room with him after lunch. What a cringe lord. Okay, the fact that the next chapter says it's gonna be 17 minutes is disgusting, but it's like almost 20 pages, so I guess it makes sense. But also, there was a like snowstorm, and they're referring to it as thunder snow, which I've never heard of in my life. So I'm not really sure about that, but it was really cute. And Phoebe was afraid, and and Carmen woke up to Phoebe in her bed, and I just thought it was so cute. The kids are coming around to her, and they went to her for comfort, and then they went out to go, she like talked Phoebe into being brave to go look at the snow, so then they looked at the snow, and then the other 2 kids ended up coming down, looked at the snow, and they were all talking about going out and playing, and then Carmen made them hot cocoa, and it was just so like heartwarming and cute, and I loved it. Also in the last chapter, Carmen told her sister Sophia about how she turned down Blair from like basically trying to hook up with her. She's like, well, did you at least get his number? And she was like, no, whatever. And I thought that was going to be the end of the storyline. But the start of this chapter is she gets a text that says, what the hell is thunder snow? It's a number she doesn't recognize. Who's this? It's Blair. He got her number from his publicist. He loves her. It's going to be a love story, and I'm thrilled. I make everything a love story, but it's what I hope for at all times. Okay guys, I'm really not liking Blair. He's like, oh, first off, I just see the name Blair and I think of Blair Waldorf, so I keep thinking of him as a girl in my head, but he's just like this stuck-up snooty guy. He's like, I'm gonna need you. He like shows up at Carmen's work and is like, I need you to go buy me boots and call the airline for me. My assistant left and I'm trapped here because of the snow. And he's rubbing me the wrong way, but they're at some store and Carmen is becoming chatting with Crawford, the guy who owns it, and she's like, McCready hired somebody? He's selling things? he's like, I'm really glad he's trying to make a go of it. We all know that the rent's going up. ... So I think we're going to get a little bit of a backstory on him and this, like, character in the town. And hopefully they can become friends. And there will be more town folk. Because I love me some town folk. Carmen just got herself into the funniest situation. So they're at this, like, shop having, like, a coffee shop type place having hot cocoa. And this one guy who's come into the bookshop, his name is spelled O-K-E. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Somebody told me and I already forgot. But I've just been calling him Oak in my head because he's a tree guy and he likes trees. But, she thought that the waitress was shortchanging him because he bought a tea and she didn't give him any change. And she just straight out accused this woman of stealing. And then she's like, no, it's like this program that we do where you can, like, buy a drink or buy a suspended hot chocolate or tea or whatever, a suspended drink, so that whenever, like, a homeless person or somebody who can't afford one comes in, they can get a drink. And she's like, oh my god. And she just embarrassed the shit out of herself, but that's awesome. A super cool practice. I wish every place did that because that's nice. Skylar, the au pair, is talking about, I guess she, like, goes to the school where the guy who I'd be calling Oak works, and she's like, yeah, he kind of looks like a tree. She said, what do you mean? Tall, thin, hair bun, like leaves on top, and a name spelt like a tree, pronounced like a Chardonnay. That doesn't do anything for me, but at least somebody's confirming that it looks like it's Oak. Okay, Cringelord Blair ended up coming over for dinner because he's at some, like, shitty hotel and is bitching and whining about it. I no longer want this to be a love story. I can't stand this man. He is so annoying, so entitled. Then he spends the whole night just talking to the stupid-ass au pair chick, who I also can't stand. And then it's, like, basically Carmen was gonna let him stay the night, but now she's, like, annoyed about the whole thing, so he hasn't even spoken to her. So she's like, yeah, it's time for you to go. I'm ready for bed. Bye. And he, like, starts making out with her and is trying to convince her to come home with him, as if he didn't just ignore her all night. And thank God the kids interrupted them, threw snow at them, and now she's like, bye. And he's like, you're not coming back with me? And she said, am I getting into a cab with a man I've never really met before in front of my tiny niece and nephew? No. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Bye then, said Carmen. She only got a grunt in return. This guy sucks. Sophia just told Carmen that she thinks it's, like, good for her to have Carmen there. I'm so glad they're mending their relationship in these last couple of chapters, but they just heard a noise and the cab turned back around and bitch-ass Skylar is getting in the cab. I do not like these people. Skylar and Blair canceled, not a fan. It's the next morning and Skylar's back. And, like, she's talking about everything that Blair said to her. I feel like this guy's just a con man. He's saying everything to her that she wants to hear, just like he said everything to Carmen that she wanted to hear. And I hate him. I love, like, all the mice and stuff that she set up, like, little fake ones around, like, the train and made, like, a Christmas village. And she's talking about how she likes to move them around and how, like, the kids love it. And I'm just like, wow. Origin story for Elf on the Shelf, baby. She just went on, like, a little not date type thing with Oak, and you find out that he, like, secretly likes her, but he thinks that she is a thing with Corncob Blair because he saw them having hot chocolate. Oh my god, I hope that there's not miscommunication because I hate Blair and I just want Carmen to be happy. But that's where we're at, guys. We're at 61%. But I'm getting sleepy, so I do not think I'm gonna make it to 80%. Hee. So some people came to the bookshop and they were looking for Mr. McCready, and he, like, refused to come see them, and he was kind of acting, like, afraid of them almost. And Carmen was like, do you know these people? And he was like, no, whatever. And the lady said, I did not mean to disturb you. We found some very old letters that came from here, that's all. And she left her card. It says with a plus 49 code. If I look it up, does it tell me what country that is? What country's code is plus 49? Germany? Somebody from Germany. I'm not gonna try to say this Irish name, but the lady who, like, makes potions and, like, stuff like that, and she said that she's a witch and has a coven, she just was, like, doing some sort of reading on Carmen, and at first she thought she was having romance problems, and she's like, no, it's about sisters. And she's like, put a dab of this on your doorstep. And she's like, is it a love potion? And she said, oh goodness, no. You don't need that. This is for the bond that holds two sisters together. One of the strongest things on earth. Forged in steel, hard as iron, easy to burn, never to break. Good speed home. So, that's interesting. This dumb bitch just texted Blair. Ugh. Oh my god. Carmen just tried to make Blair jealous and said, by the way, Blair says hi. Or Carmen tried to make Skylar jealous. So, Carmen says, oh, by the way, Blair says hi. Really? Skylar said. Because I was just speaking to him and he didn't mention you at all. Bye. Oh my god. She's such a bitch. I mean, Carmen shouldn't be trying to make her jealous, but I hate Skylar. So, like... Oh my god, Carmen is taking the kids to the fair, and so far Phoebe and Jack definitely like Carmen more than Skylar, and I think after this Pippa will like her more too. Pippa's still kind of a stick in the mud and loves Skylar and all of her weird rules and green juices and healthy eating, but the other ones are over the bullshit and are ready to just be kids and have fun, and they've never gone to like this fair type thing, and I'm excited for them. This should be a cute chapter. There's this big miscommunication with Sweet Boy Oak and him thinking that she's with Blair. Then they were having a moment and Blair called her and ruined it. And I hate this guy. But we're at 72%, chapter 29. And I think I'm going to call it for the night because it's almost midnight and I'm sleepy. I only have about an hour and a half left in the book. So I should definitely finish it tomorrow, thankfully. It's giving very 3 energy at the time being. There's so many characters that it's becoming a bit confusing, and I really wish we were getting even more of the relationship between Carmen, Sophia, and the kids. All of those chapters, like when they just went to this carnival fair thing, was really cute, and like seeing their relationships blossom and grow has been my favorite part. And her relationship with Mr. McCready, love him, but like, I don't know. I like the storyline with Oak. He's like a Quaker. And I don't, do you know what a Quaker is?
Like a pilgrim.
Okay, well apparently he's a pilgrim. So I don't really know what that means. And he doesn't celebrate Christmas. And he's from Brazil or something. And he's a teacher. And she's like teaching him the things about Christmas. And he took her to listen to like some Christmas music. And the girl who works at the cafe kind of has like a crush on him, on Oak, but Oak has a crush on Carmen, but he thinks Carmen is dating Blair, but she can't stand Blair because Blair slept with Skylar, and we all hate Skylar, and it's just like a lot of characters. So it's kind of like a lot to keep track of. Sometimes I'm like, who is that character again? I have to like really do the mental math. But it's not bad. It's definitely decent so far, but I don't know if it'll get higher than a 3, unfortunately, so far. But I'm gonna get some shut-eye, and we'll check in tomorrow. For this video, okay guys, we're in my office. We're never in my office, but we're gonna do a little bookish update on this book because last night, whenever I got home from game night, I did read up to 86%. I only have about 40 minutes left, and I'm gonna try to read this while I work because I'm ready to be done. This book is very, very slow. There's still drama going on with Blair. There's still drama going on with Oak. There's still drama going on with the sisters. Everybody is annoying, and I don't like a single character. I'm ready for Blair to just like disappear because I hate him. I don't really know. They threw a party at the bookshop. Lots of people came. Skylar's still being a bitch. She is causing some miscommunication between Oak and Carmen because she told Oak that Carmen's in love with her boyfriend because her boyfriend is Blair, and oh my god. It's just all this drama, and I just want Carmen and Oak to get together. Carmen and Sophia to get along. I'm starting to like the kids. I really like Phoebe. Phoebe has really grown on me. She's been really, really cute. But we're gonna read and work. Because if you don't know, I make stickers. And a lot of the sticker making is sitting here waiting for everything to be done on the cutting machines. And this has been a really long day. It's almost 6:30. I've been going at this since like, I think I started work at like 9:30 this morning. Got up at 8:30. Was a bum for like 15 minutes. Went and got McDonald's. and now I'm working, but I'm currently working on Black Friday orders, and I really desperately want to get day 2 done, and I desperately need to get this book done today, mainly because I'm just ready to move on to something else. My pal Emily, who is in the book club, she had suggested this author to me when I was talking to her about a previous book that I loved, because I love books about books, blah blah blah. But even she's like, this is my least favorite book I've ever read by this author. So I don't think it's gonna surpass a 3, and it could go down to a 2 if this like constant miscommunication doesn't stop. But let's get to reading. This video, and guys, I don't know where we left off. This was the most average book I've ever read. I gave it 3 stars. It turned out Carmen ended up with Oak and they lived happily ever after. Okay, that's the ending. I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. I'm not super inclined to pick up the sequel. I didn't feel overly connected to the characters. I think that this character had intentionally unlikable characters, and I know that some people love an unlikable character. I don't. I find unlikable characters to be irritating. So that part of the book just did not work for me, unfortunately. But let me know, did you read it? What do you think? And that'll be all for this video.